Hey, good morning, guys. Today is Monday, May 4th. This is day 29 of our virtual learning initiative here at North Hunterdon, and this video is for my financial literacy class. First, hope everybody's doing well. Hope you guys all had a great weekend. And today, I just want to talk to you a little bit about what you can expect this week as far as our assignments. So, good news. I don't have any Dave Ramsey videos for you guys to watch this week. I'm giving you a break. Well, that's not necessarily true. You got to listen to his radio show, but you don't have to watch or do anything inside of the Foundations for Personal Finance textbook for this week. So this week, I want to kind of continue with the debt unit. I think the debt unit is super, super important. And so hopefully you guys learned a little bit about credit scores, credit cards, things like that, buying a home. I'm going to have office hours up this week for anyone. So if you have any questions about credit cards, mortgages, anything you want to talk about, you can come in and feel free to drop in and ask questions during those times. I'll put the links to the office hours up on our Google Classroom page. Okay, so what are we doing this week? This week, you have 2 assignments. That's it. That's all we got. So first thing is I'm going to be sharing with you a buying a car project where you guys are actually going to figure out what kind of car you want to buy, a budget, loans, all of that information in a project in a few minutes. From now in this video, I'm gonna have you guys pause it and we're gonna get to it and I'll go over the project with you. The other thing I'm gonna have you guys do is something we're calling Live from Financial Peace Plaza. What you're going to do is normally I would allow students to pick a video and then pretty much like write a summary on it. But this week I'm actually going to assign you guys the video. I'm going to put the link to the video I'd like you to watch in Google Classroom. It's actually really, really interesting stuff. It's a guy who wanted to become a doctor and he has acquired $1 million worth of debt, like student loan debt and debt to become a doctor. He only makes $250,000 currently a year, and I believe him and his wife are spending over $100,000 a year just on interest. So it's going to be really, really hard for him to pay that debt down, and you get to hear Dave's advice and kind of how he responds. So what is Financial Peace Plaza? I'm going to share the document with you. I'll go over that first because it's a little bit easier. All you're going to do is you're going to watch the video I sent you. You're going to then write a 1-paragraph summary of the video, and then you're going to give me a 1-paragraph reaction. In that reaction, you're going to tell me like what you initially thought of it. What do you think of Dave's advice? What would you do differently? However you want to approach it. But I figured just a little bit more interactive. I kind of get to see what you guys think and what you've learned a little bit about debt over the last couple weeks. Okay, so that's that for that assignment. So right now, my advice to you guys is pause the video, go to Google Classroom, open up the My Car assignment project. Okay, when you have it open, then unpause the video because I'm going to go over it with you guys right now. All right, so now we're looking at the My Car project or assignment. So let's go through each portion of the criteria. For number 1, it says car brainstorm. So basically, if you have no idea what kind of car you want to buy, obviously, for some of you, you're a couple years away. For those of you who are sophomores, this is probably something you should look into because maybe as you get a license, I don't know what the deal is with your parents. Maybe your parents are like, okay, well, we'll give you the car, but you have to pay for the insurance. Sometimes the parents are like, yeah, we'll cover everything, which is, thumbs up, good for you. And then sometimes parents are like, okay, we'll pay for the insurance, but you have to buy the car. So this is a great exercise, something that is real, something that's applicable for you guys to work on. Okay, so let's look at it. If you know what you want, you go to step 2. If you have no idea what you want, there are a couple websites there available for you guys to kind of look through and browse through different types of cars. All right, so once you have figured out what your car is, okay, you're going to go to point 2, right, where it says go to the True Car Survey, and you're going to complete the survey to find like the car that you want to buy. It can be new or used. It can be at any price you want. However, you have to keep your final budget in mind, deciding what kind of car you would like to buy. So what are you willing to spend, right? And then if that information, whatever car you want to buy, you're going to put the make, model, year, the price, or like the estimate for newer cars, okay? And then a link to that car. Because, I don't know, I'm in the market for a new car. Maybe I'll buy something that you guys like. Who knows? Okay, so 3, you're going to research the different attributes of the car, right? So you're going to figure out 5 of the features that you think are the most important for your car. What are these features? These are the features that you are specifically looking for and why you want to buy this car. Okay, 4, gas mileage. really important. Obviously, with everything that's going on in oil markets, the price of gas being relatively cheap and none of us driving anywhere, this might not factor into your decision right now. But once as everything goes back to normal and we're all driving around and you guys get older, and once you have your car, you're going to be driving a ton because you don't want to have your parents to take you everywhere. All right, so this is important. What is the miles per gallon? Okay, now we're going to analyze the cost for gas. Okay, how much do we drive per year? Average American drives about 15,000 miles per year. If you're a heavy commuter like myself, you drive way more than that. Okay, so well, what is that going to cost you per year to actually drive? And you can create this as an estimate. Okay, the average cost of gas around this time was around $2.50. So you can go a little bit less for that if you want to go off of now's or today's oil prices. However you want to do that, you just got to let me know. Okay, so then you're going to figure all the cost of that out per month. And then finally, we're going to look at, or sorry, not finally, but next we're going to look at other costs. Okay, well, believe it or not, there are costs to maintaining a car. Car maintenance is very, very important. If you do not keep up with regular car maintenance, it leads to larger, more expensive problems down the road, and it could even lead to the end of your car and you having to buy a whole brand new one. So car maintenance is really important. These are things you can look at. Edmunds has a great tool on their website that kind of gives you a great idea of what is regular car maintenance, how much this maintenance should cost, and then you have to kind of think about that with your budget. Remember, we go all the way back to the beginning of the Dave Ramsey videos. He talks about having things like an emergency fund, right? A couple months worth of bill payments and assets. All of this stuff is so you can say to yourself, okay, well, regular car maintenance, that's not a problem. I can cover these costs. I have that money in the bank. I don't have to put it on a credit card. I can just pay cash, get it done, move on, replenish the funds later on. Okay, so those are other costs, and you're going to be able to calculate that in terms of the 5-year total, a 1-month total, so on and so forth. Okay, Edmunds' website is great at kind of figuring that stuff out. All right, last two things as well. How am I going to pay for it, right? Usually when you're buying a car, whether it's new or used from a dealership, you can buy it outright. Majority of people are going to end up financing their car. We're going to look at specifically financing. I don't want you guys to look at leasing for this option. Okay, I want you to look at buying the car. Remember, this is a personal finance class. Dave Ramsey, not a fan of leasing, right? You're just renting a car that you have to pay back or that you have to give back and then do it all over again. Okay, so unless it's something where you just don't care about money and you just want to throw it away, it's not something that Dave Ramsey really advises we do. So we're going to look at financing or purchasing a car. Okay, so you need to figure out, well, what is my down payment going to be? And maybe you're looking at a used car that's within a realistic budget. I don't know, when I was in high school and I had to get a car, I didn't really have a ton of money. I worked at a bagel shop on the weekends. I tried to bank all of that money because my parents told me that they would get me the car, but I'd have to pay for gas, insurance, everything, right? And so my parents handed a car down to me. It was a 1986 Volvo 740 GLE. I mean, this thing, like, it was not even in converted to like American kind of standards, right? Like the speedometer was in kilometers per hour. My radio system didn't even have words on it. It just had like symbols, like Swedish symbols. So it was really, really interesting stuff. But that car at that time probably couldn't have cost, because I mean, it was so old and beat up, had over 250,000 miles on it. My parents just gave it to me. And so, at that time for me and my budget, I probably wouldn't be looking at a car that was more expensive than $5,000. I mean, a high school kid. So if that's what you're looking at and you have to buy the car yourself and this is the money that you have available and you can't actually finance a car, then that's what you're going to be looking at. Your down payment is the entirety. So you don't even have to worry about financing or getting a loan for the car. However, I still would like you to kind of go through the steps and see what it would take, or what I'm looking at, okay, in terms of, well, what is the end cost for financing a car? Now, car financing comes in a couple of different options, right? So we have 3-year, 4-year, 5-year. There are even like 6-year kind of loans, right? But typically, the 48-month, the 60-month, and the 72-month loans for purchasing a car is what we're looking at. Remember, that's a lot different than a mortgage. Mortgages, we're looking at 10, 15, 20, 30-year mortgages. There are even 40-year mortgages, but please don't ever take out a 40-year mortgage, okay? And so the amortization, or the payment period, right? The time it takes you to repay that is much, much shorter in a car loan. Okay, so remember, as the price of the car goes up, the price of your monthly payments is going to go up at a greater rate than it would compared to that of a mortgage payment. Okay, so this is really important stuff. I think you guys are going to enjoy doing this project. It's practical. You could use it for yourself, for like you actually figure out a budget for the car that you want to buy or have when that time comes. So I think it's worth your time. Okay, and that is it. That's all we have for this week. If you have any questions, again, there are links to the office hours for Tuesday and Thursday. That'll be from 11 to 11:30. If you have any questions, you can feel free to drop in at any time and ask. Hope you guys are all doing well. Please get outside. It is absolutely beautiful out today, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great week, guys. Bye-bye.